Alright, everybody. How is everyone doing tonight? I am a MadMegaX381, and this is new Ghostbusters 2. It is not the old Ghostbusters 2, which I have run here before. This is a much better game. So let's kind of dive in here. So real quick, which Ghostbusters do we want to see save the world tonight? We got the 4 Ghostbusters, and we have Louis Tully too. So first people to respond in the chat, and I will fire them up as the 2 Ghostbusters we take on our adventure tonight. Hi, Cat. Not seeing any calls for Ghostbuster Choice here, so I'm thinking that okay, see an Egon. Who else we got? Lewis. All right, Lewis. Egon and Lewis. We are getting. It's all about getting our spectacles on and saving the day today. All right, so you'll see this is significantly different than what we're used to in the Activision version of this game, which is to say this actually looks like it has gameplay. This is a top-down game, and every room we go into we have to catch all of the ghosts. That's what we do. And so a lot of the game is really based around very tight movement and ideally not confusing your AI companion. So I control Egon here. Lewis is following me around with the ghost trap, and he can get lost and get confused. Whoever is the second character gets lost and confused pretty regularly. So we have to be cognizant of that and try not to confuse them too much. Oh, I took the wrong ghost there. Normally I do the bottom one first, and that was a little bit of a problem. But not an issue. So you can hold ghosts in your capture beam for a little while. You can't do it super long. So part of the strat here is that as we go through, we catch these ghosts, and I have to be so close to initially hit them, but then I can back away and I'll keep them on the beam until Lewis gets there. So it's a pretty neat way to handle it. So first we fight the Scoleri brothers. We get this nice little fight there, and that's the first stage. That's the Courthouse. No problemo. The music is also super rad. It's actually one of my favorite things about this game is the music. This is actually a chiptunified version of a song called Flip City that was in the movie. So if you're a big Ghostbusters fan like myself, and you've watched these movies way too much, you would probably recognize this song. This is when everything kind of goes crazy at the end of the game, or at the end of the movie. So we don't actually have to catch the ghosts in the little mine carts. We just have to shoot them so that they pop out of them. So that's what we do there. It doesn't give us any points to do it that way, but it does save time to do that, because then we don't have to catch them. So we try to put that to good use if we can help it. Oh, we got good luck on that particular sequence there. All right, got to be careful here. This is one of the worst rooms in the entire game, bar none. This room is terrible. I'm gonna catch those ghosts because I hate them so much that I want to punish them and put them in the containment unit. That's just how I feel about them. All right, so we're going through here. This is another scene that would be in the movie. Like I said, they did a really good job with turning sequences of the movie into playable sequences from the game, I think, in this one. The other Ghostbusters 2, which was made by Activision and released in the US, is definitely not as good as this. The music isn't as good. It doesn't have these, like, unbearably cute versions of the Ghostbusters. Like, look at these guys. These are the cutest incarnation of the Ghostbusters I have ever seen. It is almost painful. And so now we're on a train. A lot of train riding for me today on RGL. And we caught the Conductor Slimer, and there you go. There is kind of multiplayer. I don't think you can actually control where the second Ghostbuster walks, but you can control when they fire the trap off. Oh, that was really bad. I got caught in the... That's alright. We got slimed. That happens. It's a Ghostbusters game. That's gonna happen. This is supposed to be Peter's apartment. So right now, basically everything's been overrun by pink slime. So that's why we're here. We're catching all these little globules. And that's the reason why everything in this stage is a pink color. Oh, see there Lewis got confused. He wasn't sure where he was supposed to go there. That was one of the things that I was talking about, where they can get a little confused. If you move too far away, what the AI will actually do is it'll just run around the outside of the map until it gets close enough to, like, catch back up to you. That is the worst enemy in the game right there, these little ninja guys. They're terrible. They are quite responsible for most of my dead runs at this point. One of the things we do a lot of is we ignore walls, because walls aren't real in this game. We can send our trap through them. So that's one way that we handle those. So we actually, you can trigger these spawns in different locations, but that's one place where it actually really is good for you to spawn up there, because there's a lot of things that those ninjas will, like, run into, and then they won't get you. Oh boy! Like I said, those guys are the worst. I was trying to react to them, and they don't necessarily go in the direction they're facing when they spawn, which is really the worst thing about them. So luckily we just got a 1-up, so that's okay then. That helps a little bit. Whew, that's really unfortunate. Those like I said, those ninja ghosts are probably the worst enemies in the game, and it's not really close. These guys can be kind of crappy, but... Oh, we're gonna grab this guy, because we made him spawn into a wall. Those ninjas aren't as bad, they just throw throwing stars, and when they do that, if they spawn into a wall, they won't hit you, so... Oh boy. Whew! Almost got me! I see what you did there, Dog Developer, I appreciate it. The puns are great. I'm a fan of puns of all kinds, so... If any ghost puns you have, be sure to call them out. Another fun thing is that doors don't open. Like, more than one door can't be open at a time. So if you're, like, stuck somewhere and you can't get a door to open, that's usually the reason why, is that your AI companion has refused to, he's gotten stuck somewhere and opened a door, and it won't close, so you have to wait for them to deal with that. So ignore walls, again. It saves us from going into certain rooms. It's pretty convenient. Oh, that wasn't good. Whew! That was a little dicey, but we're still here. We're doing alright. Oh, missed him. It's alright. We'll catch this guy, and then we'll get this guy on the way out. We're gonna grab that money. The only reason to grab money is that it's just points, and you get 1-ups for points throughout the game. So it's really not the most important thing in the world, but just because this is a marathon run, we're gonna try to catch some extra ghosts and be a little safe if we can help it, or get that extra money when we see it and it's convenient. Give us a little bit of extra leeway here. We can walk up here and we can grab that guy from there. I'm gonna wait. The hitboxes on those poles are surprisingly large, and they can absolutely wreck you. So we don't really like that to happen. There's another one up. Go us. That's a good news. That's good news. Go down here. That should be able to get him. So this stage doesn't actually have a real boss. It just has like a sequence of these like mini boss scenarios where there's a bunch of powerful enemies in the room. So it's not super tough. And luckily, one of the nice things, you don't have to worry about any of the ghosts hitting your AI friend. They're invincible. They don't have health. You don't have to worry about it. There's a Game Boy version of this game that looks similar to this in like the top-down approach and all of that. But both Ghostbusters can be hit by ghosts, and I feel like that makes the game way more difficult. And I'm not entirely certain that I would even want to do that then, just because it seems crazy. So this is the end of Stage 3. Gonna go out here. This is where Dr. Janosch, as a ghost, steals young Oscar, who's named after a hot dog. Poor man. Poor man. Ba-ba-ba-bow. Again, music's like super fun in this. It just makes me happy. This is one of the big songs from the movie We're Back. We can jam to this one for sure. Now we're in the River of Slime. This stage has some interesting movement mechanics because the slime will both push you back or push you forward, depending upon the direction that it's flowing. So we have to keep that in mind. Unfortunately, even if you get really good at making your movement really solid, your AI is almost certainly going to ignore good routing. So a lot of times it ends up being much more about survival than it is about clean movement, which is really unfortunate. There are certain rooms where you can manipulate their movement, and I've gotten a little better at it, but it's still a work in progress. It's definitely easier for sure just to try to catch the ghosts as quickly as possible, and not worry too much about the path that your AI takes, because they can kind of just do whatever they want anyways. But like this room, for example, is one where if you walk along the very top of the edge there, it usually results in your fellow Buster moving faster. And because now he's up here, that actually is going to make him move way faster, because normally you're going against the flow of the slime in that stage, in that room. So this is just an endurance room. There's a lot of like slime bubbles in here that we have to catch. Unfortunately, we got some kind of rough spawns where they got a little out of our control. Ideally, you kind of keep them all sequestered over here in one of the corners, but it's not too bad. We're doing all right. So we'll get some more Slimers, the unofficial Ghostbusters mascot, I guess. Get these like spinny doodad guys. I don't really know what they do or like why they exist, but they have the weirdest hitbox in this game. And I made the mistake of getting super far away from the wall there. Generally, if you stick to the wall, these guys have a really hard time hitting you. So I made a boo-boo there. That's okay. So we're gonna grab this. See if we can hit that, and we're gonna do one more. Oh, come on, Lewis. Where are you at, buddy? You're not helping me out. Come on. There we go. It's just like right up next to it, and he just could not get it. So there's Lewis. He's doing the thing where he runs around the outside of the room. Like that's just it's a thing that the AI does when it gets confused. It'd be funny if it didn't take so much time. Alright, so I have to be careful here because a lot of times if you walk into this see, he'll get stuck up there and then he'll walk around again. again, the AI, unfortunately, not super bright. Alright, so now we have the, these guys. This boss is one of the worst in the game, I think. Just because, you start to get this sequence where you can't actually really see them because they're all kind of happening at the same time, and the game is really struggling with the sprites here. So we try to keep them to a minimum. We try to be very, very careful, and that's it. There they go. Whew! That's one of the tougher stages. That's one of the tougher bosses for sure, and he's out of the way. So now we get to go into the museum. This is the last, like, full stage of the game. So this has got some really cool ambience music. We're gonna do. Oh no, they're off cycle. We want to catch these guys together, and the reason why we want to do that is because if we don't, they actually will spawn. Like multiple. Like once you catch one, the remaining one will spawn a whole bunch of mini ghosts, and they are a pain to catch. There's just a ton of them, so we don't really like to deal with that if we can help it. So here, this is just one of those convenient places where we can just kind of stand and catch a whole bunch of ghosts at once. I missed that last one. I wasn't quite fast enough, but that's alright. Here is one of the 2 ninja rooms in this stage, which I hate because, again, I hate the ninjas. They just ruin runs. They're so mean. Going through here, this is another thing the game does that it's actually set up to be kind of a little bit mean, is that it will spawn ghosts where you would definitely be walking. So you have to be cognizant of that as you're going through. Obviously, it's not a problem if you've played it a bunch, but you know, for a first playthrough, it's a pretty cold thing to do. Game. So it's got some classic NES nonsense, which I love. Which, speaking of NES, I believe that this is the first game in the day-long NES block, formerly known as When NES Day. So, kicking off a little early, but happy. I'm super honored to be able to kick that off with this super awesome Ghostbusters game. I think this might actually be the best Ghostbusters game on retro consoles. It's either this or the Genesis game, I would argue. And I really like this one. I think this game is super fun. Again, the Ghostbusters are awesome, and they're so cute in this, and the music is good. So those are two big positives as far as I'm concerned. I think they're definitely better than what they look like in the Genesis game, but that's me. You know, everyone can have their own opinion. These guys, if anybody watched the real Ghostbusters as a kid, you might remember a Halloween villain called Sam Hain. Those guys with the pumpkins on their heads always make me think of Sam Hain. So, you know, just a little bit of Ghostbusters nonsense there. I just feel like those poltergeists, they're just Sam Hains. That's all they are. There's the jogger. He's in the movie. These like slime wall things, I'm not really sure what their intent is on, like what part of the. There we go, Lewis. There you go. I believe in you, buddy. You're gonna get there. As I walk in the wrong door. All right, there's those 2 ghosts out of the way, not a problem. Now we get just slime to deal with, so that's not too bad. And now we're going into the next ninja room. Hopefully, we get some good RNG with them. All right, good. They spawned in places that we were able to get, and they didn't do any damage. That's honestly huge. Because again, I've been in that room before, and I've gotten hit like 2 or 3 times, and it can just be super brutal. So we went all the way down there so that we could get all of those ghosts on the far side, and they wouldn't actually be, they wouldn't actually spawn, wouldn't really be able to hit us from that. Oh, come on, Lewis. Lewis. There we go. I got a little confused. And now he's running the wrong way. He'll catch up. I'm not worried about him. This is the slime room. I've been struggling with a quick way to do this because this is literally just a war of attrition with the slime blobs. You have to catch quite a few of them, and it's all about being as efficient as possible because, again, most of this game really is just being efficient in your movement and in how fast you can trap each of the ghosts. Oh. Now I'm not in a great place, so we're gonna take it a little extra slow. Alright. Oh, I see a little bit of talk about how well known, I'm assuming it's about this game. This was never released in the US. It was released in Japan and in PAL territories. Activision had the license for Ghostbusters in the United States, and they released Ghostbusters 2, which is kind of a side-scrolly, shoot-'em-up kind of game. It's not awful, but it's definitely, I don't think it's as popular as this game. Alright, everybody, I need to count to 10. So hopefully everyone can help me, because I do forget how to get that high sometimes. I forget how to count that high. So there's 1. This is Janosch. There's 2. This fight is pretty easy. There's 3. Really, I set up on this wall here, and it's a little bit of timing, but once you lock in on the ghost on the left, you just go down, up, and down, and you won't ever get hit. It's super easy. I think that was 4. Like I said, I get confused. I sometimes forget how to count to 10, so... you know, we might... I might forget, and that happens. I think that's 5, or is it 6? We'll find out. It'll be pretty obvious when we get to 8, at least. I think that's 6? I can't be sure anymore. Everything's confusing. I'm just... Oh, that was 8! Oh, Indy tagged me. And... there we go. That's Janosch, and he's out. I would disagree that US Ghostbusters 2 is not a good game. I do like it. I have very fond memories of it. I would never argue it's better as a game than this, but you know, I was fond of it. All right, so now we get Vigo, and this is a weird looking Vigo. He would not look out of place in the 70s, I think, with this haircut and facial hairstyle. But he just, like, swings these balls around and we have to dodge them. I'm going to play this really safe because this is probably the only, like, super dangerous segment in the entire game. So I just, like, get up there and I shoot him in the crotch, and I just keep doing that until, I always get hit there. I feel like that's just a thing that happens to me. Okay, we're good. We should be good. Time is coming up when, okay. Time is coming up when, he, no longer takes damage and gets stuck back in this painting. So that should be coming up real soon. Hopefully, anyways. Oh my goodness, he's taking a ton of damage here. Oh, there it is. Time comes when we stop moving, and that's time. 23:06. Honestly, not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that time. And now we get this cool little staff roll of you know, the Ghostbusters dealing with the various ghosts and reacting in funny ways. It's pretty cool. So, just that'll be all for me tonight. I just want to say thanks again to RGL for putting this awesome event on. Thank you for having me kick off the day-long Nest block, and for letting me showcase this game that I recently found and fell in love with. So, really appreciate it, and hope everybody has a great night, and stick around because I believe Yellsrake is up next, and he's got some awesome stuff for us. So stick around and keep watching all this wonderful NES retro goodness.